Hello everybody and welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi and today I will be playing an NPC. I spent like 5 minutes trying to figure out how to pronounce her name. We'll get to that later. Anyway, with me is my wonderful, amazing friend who I adore so very much.
I hold up an Uno reverse. Avi is also very good. Hi, I'm KT. I'm going to be playing Lorem Paraph, who is very lost, as per the usual. Avi is very good. I love them very much.
Ah, you can't do this to me in the middle of the intro. Wah. Anyway.
I can, and I will, and I have.
Gasp.
Gasp.
Anyway. um... Hey, so, Lore, you got lost.
He was just trying to find a library.
You got, like, very, very lost, which is hilarious because, you're not in Aneko at the moment.
Nope!
You're in Okashima in Yedo, which is, like, on the other side of the planet. Which is gonna be kinda interesting, huh?
Uh-huh. He technically knows some Yiddish, but oh fuck.
Yeah, oh god, oh fuck. You got lost. You were trying to find, like, a library or whatever. It is, like, evening. Starting to get to be evening or something along those lines. And you have found yourself in a part of Okashima, that is, pretty bustling. There are a lot of, buildings. There's a pretty big crowd here, and lots of, like, different lights and whatnot that are colored. You definitely see a lot of bars, and you see, a couple of people in, like, suits trying to get people to go inside, I think they're called host clubs. Yeah, you have definitely found yourself, in the middle of a, red light district.
Well, I know it's fun. He doesn't know what that is.
Oh, dear. Oh,
He is from the middle of fucking nowhere.
I hold him so gentle.
He's just like, this is a weird part of this country. Is
Yeah.
this normal?
um, why don't you roll me a quick perception?
Will do. What is your perception? Oh, right, it's just a d20. That's a 12!
Alright, no, that's fine, that's fine. It's above a 10, I will take it. You have, found yourself in a district called, Shinatsu, which is, Okashima's red light district. You probably should not be here for too long, but, you do notice that in the midst of this hustle and bustle, as the sun is starting to set and it is getting a little bit shadier, there is a bar that is open, but it does not seem to be having, a lot of business in it.
That's probably a good place to go write his boyfriend. Like, I'm very lost, can you come pick me up?
Please come pick me up, I'm scared.
I'm scared. This very tall man is scared. Man-child.
Yeah, there is a sign above the door, of the bar. It is, in kind of like these neon-ish lights, like, you know, the fluorescent kinds that are, like, really bad for the environment because of how much energy it takes up. But it's, like, one of those, like, very, like, bare-bones signs, and you just see it says the Crossroads Bar. And, you enter, right?
Oh, definitely.
Alright.
Wanna know what's great about the red light district?
What?
You can't see red.
That's
He's colorblind!
That's right, you're colorblind! Oh my god, so, like, the contrast in this place must be so hellish for you.
Everything is very contrasting. And he's very tall and very lost.
You are very tall. You are very lost. But you have made it to shelter. Give me a sec as I take a sip.
Yes.
Take a fucking sip, babes. Anyway, so you enter this small, somewhat unassuming bar, and it is mostly empty. There are like tables and booths and whatnot, but there is a woman, or what you assume to be a woman, behind the counter, who is, manning the store, and there is another lady who is sitting at one of the stools, and she already has a few glasses that are like empty in front of her, and she seems to be in the middle of saying something in Yiddish.
He does have the linguist feat, and technically Yiddish is a common language, right?
Yeah.
He probably knows what's going on, potentially, if you'll allow it.
I will be real with you. I don't have the words to go in depth, but this woman seems to be complaining about her job. But as you enter, I have to figure out how to do this lady's voice. Give me a sec.
Yeah, you're totally good.
The woman who is running the counter, she is a pretty decently sized she's a human. Let's go with that. But she is let me pull up a picture of her real quick, actually.
I think I saw a picture of her when I was looking at pictures of the bar.
Yeah, she's
She's friend-sized.
She is very French-sized. She is a large woman in a pretty let's say business-ish kind of yukata. Like she just wears it for the bar or whatever. Purple hair cut in a bob. So on and so forth. She definitely looks like a bartender. Let's just go with that. Like she's been in this business for a while now. And you enter, you take a moment to take in your surroundings, because you just went from the hustle and bustle and hellish contrast of the outside red light district to the dim lighting of the inside of the Crossroads bar. But she notices you, and she turns and, like, in a almost sing-song voice, kind of goes, welcome. And then she actually, like, looks you up and down, and she just goes, huh. Hey, kid, are you sure you're not, too young to be here?
We're just like, what age would that be?
And, this is hilarious, because you absolutely look like a tourist. And the other lady who is sitting at the counter, at the stool, looks up at you, too. Like, she just noticed you were there. And you can tell, like, no perception needed. Her cheeks are a little bit pink.
They're definitely flushed. Who knows what pink is?
Oh, they're definitely flushed. There you go. There is a bit of, like, there's definitely color in her cheeks. But she looks, up at you, and, she says, "Oh, Lola, it's fine. It's not like the kid's gonna order anything anyway."
Laura, who wanted to get a soda. Guess he's not getting anything.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
Avi, can I tell
see-
you something really funny?
Yeah?
The only other place that Laura has been like this was a disco on a different planet with the professor.
Gosh, I remember that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So,
He's like, this is probably not a disco, but is this a disco?
yeah, no, Lola just kind of, the big woman, Lola, kind of just sighs, and, I just heard the cat rustling outside my room. That was startling. Okay.
No.
Anyway, Lola sighs, and she says, "Alright, take a seat wherever, kid. Just so you know, the alcohol's off the table for you."
Laura, who's realizing that this is a place where you serve alcohol.
And, you are free to take a seat.
Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, you go first.
Okay, Laura kind of waves at the person sitting down. Wanna know what's fun? You said that this person was shorter than Arata. Laura is 6'10".
Yeah.
I think that's really funny. I think he kind of waves at her and says, can I sit?
Oh, sure, yeah. Take a seat, kid.
Takes a seat.
Yeah. And, she seems pretty energetic, even if she, looks a bit like she's already had a few drinks. In fact, as you sit down, she kind of just, croaks, "Lola, can you get me another glass, please?" And Lola kind of just, sighs and already gets to preparing another drink for this lady, and, the lady giggles and says, "Thank you."
Just looks at her like, have you had water?
And, she kind of just gives you a laugh and says, "Believe me, kid, water's the last thing I want to be drinking after the week I've had."
Oh, is everything all right?
Alright. And, like, you see her, like, immediately straighten up, both elbows on the counter, like she's just about to, like, spill the tea.
Oh. Hey, does she want to roll an insight on this individual?
Yes. She has NPC stats.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! This is so in character. You want to know what she got?
Oh no, yeah, what? Oh no! Yeah, this person is just a regular, normal-ass human. What's a tourist?
As she starts to move and talk, you can also roll another perception if you want. Probably a low DC because I know you have. Okay, never mind.
That's a 7.
Never mind. She does seem to have a pretty big bag with her. Anyway,
if it helps, Laura has never met a reporter in person.
Yeah, that is fair. She leans on the counter and she says, "Okay, Kid, are you from around?
Not at all.
Alright. And, like, she laughs and gives you a nod, and she says, so, I guess that means you haven't heard the big breaking news everybody's talking about, huh?
Should Lore roll intelligence or history?
Yeah, roll a history.
Roll a history. Okay, my boy. Okay, his history's decent. To do. That's a 17.
Okay, that is really good. You do know for a fact that after, like, a bit of quiet, the news did in fact break that Shirozumi, the ace detective and Yeto's detective prince, was released from police custody recently.
Oh no! I
Yeah.
think Lore kind of thinks to himself and he's like, oh, is this about Shiro Azumi?
And she gives you a big, like, wide-eyed nod. And, like, it is, like, one of those slow nods, like, uh-huh. And,
Lore, who assumes a lot. Oh, did you, like, know him?
well, and you see her kind of, like, sigh, and, like, again, her elbows are on the bar, and she, kind of folds them so that, like, one hand is in the, like, crook of her elbow, and the other hand is supporting her chin, and she says, okay, well, let me start with this. And right off the bat, you can tell she is about to launch into a very long story.
Let me roll something for my boy really quick. Okay, he manages to keep his cool. He logically is like, okay, I will write Sammy in a bit. He wants to hear.
I love that.
He wants to hear the goss.
Okay, so she said, she starts with this. Okay, so I work as a reporter for a local magazine here in Okashima, and I promise you, it's not anything too glamorous, but as of late, my boss keeps me doing these, celebrity gossip articles, but I guess you could say I used to know Shirozumi. I mean, we weren't, like, on a personal level, but I did interview him a couple of times.
Laura's kind of processing. Because his only other experience with the reporters, do you know what it is?
What is it?
Do you remember when Laura accidentally saw Minami's files on Sam?
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
And Leo kept being like, the reporters wouldn't leave me alone, or leave it alone.
Yeah.
Laura has a bias against reporters.
Whoops.
So he's like, but she seems nice, so also this isn't Einquell, maybe they're different here.
And, like, she gives a pause, like, she's giving you a moment to, like, to react, and I'm pretty sure she, like, absolutely misjudges your reaction and goes, yeah, right? Like, I mean, I didn't know the kid too well, but, I'll be real, he was kind of weird.
I just realized I don't think that Laura knows how old Azumi is. Because he always called Azumi sir. So he hears kid and he's like, wait, how old is Azumi?
At the very least, you can tell that he is younger than this lady right here.
Okay. I think Laura thought Azumi was further in his 20s than he is.
That is so funny. I love that.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And you see her kind of like do a shrug, and she says, "But when Asumi disappeared, oh gosh," and like it's like she has like this complete and total like mood swing. And you see her like close her eyes and lets out a very deep and heavy sigh, and she's just, well, it's
I don't think Lore knew Azumi disappeared. So he's just listening like, oh fuck.
yeah, he's just, when Asumi disappeared, it was all everybody talked about for like what, a week before the election happened, and then they just moved on as if the kid just didn't matter to them that much. And I always felt a little bad for the kid, you know?
You keep saying kid, how old is he?
With a surprising amount of like certainty, she says, I think he'd be like 21 right now.
Laura's processing the fact that Azumi is only 1 year older than his boyfriend.
Congratulations, Azumi is younger than you thought.
Yeah, congratulations. Hey, reporter lady. Lore looks, like he's computing and buffering and just staring off at a wall.
Yeah, right? He always seemed so much more mature than he actually, than how old he actually was, you know? I mean, he was like that even with audiences, even when he was giving public speeches.
I thought he was closer to 30. I'm bad with ages.
Like, you say that and she just starts cackling.
Lore canonically is bad with ages because, he just found out that, everybody's age and ordinal point is already fucked up.
Uh-oh.
They look younger than they are.
And like...
And now he's been around Toons!
Oh my god. And this lady just like starts cackling and like she's like snorts and she says well, he definitely dresses like he's older than 30, am I right?
Lore just nods slowly. Because like even the professor looks older, but he's like 700 years old!
And she
Age is fucked up here!
And she just kind of sighs, and she says, well, now that Azumi's back, like, out of nowhere, it's all anybody wants to talk about now. And I'm just like, oh, come on, can't we just give the kid a rest? Poor guy's been through enough already.
He really has.
What did she say?
Laura's just like, he really has. She can roll insight if she wants, because boy did he say that like he knows something.
Yeah. I mean, even if she rolls low, she is going to ask the same question.
Hmm.
I'm rolling again. Okay. Okay. This is also in character for her.
Oh no!
She got a nat 20.
Oh, fuck! Oh gosh, is this insight?
Yeah.
Hey, she probably knows that there's been Toons around Azumi potentially, right?
No, nobody knows where Azumi was.
Oh yeah, no, but like, has anybody seen people hanging out around Azumi who looks Toonish?
No, because
Okay.
Azumi was released from prison and then nobody knows where he's staying currently.
Mm-hmm. Okay, never mind then. But yeah, this kid is definitely not around from around here. So why does he know about Azumi at all? even if it's in the papers.
Yeah. And, like, I think she, like, latches onto that with a vice grip. And she gives you, like, this very serious look that is very jarring from how she'd been acting earlier. And she just goes, you sound like you actually know Azumi.
I do a quick roll, one moment. Oh no! Laura like, well, yeah, kind of, but... And then he looks and he's like, ah, shit!
And she gives you a look.
He's got, like, you know, when you, like, curl your lips in and hide your mouth, and he's just like, just looking at you, waiting to see what she does, like...
And I think there's, like, this pause, because she might have been, like, have had a few drinks by now, and, like, but also she is a reporter for a reason, or a journalist for a reason, but, she kind of leans towards you, but then she kind of notices that, you got a bad reaction there, buddy. So she just kind of sighs and leans back. And says, almost surprisingly sober, says, well, I guess it's nice to know that the kid isn't alone.
Laura, who knows that Azumi probably doesn't like him, just... Yeah!
I am so sorry, Lord.
Laura just like, well, shit, I probably shouldn't go into her, like, like, if I say too much Azumi, it's gonna skin me. Laura also doing mental math, well, I guess he has Camille and shit.
Yeah. And I think she takes a sip from her drink. Have you ordered anything?
No, because he was told he shouldn't. He's still a child.
He is still a child.
He's only been 18 for, I guess, six-ish months now? Well, not 16, 18. Shit.
Yeah. And, like, she takes a sip, and she sets the cup back down, and she goes, what's your name, kid?
He thinks... Lorem?
And she kind of nods, and she says, I don't think I've heard a name like that before. You're definitely not from around.
Yep, nope, definitely not from here, or anywhere near. He just looks like he doesn't, he's like, yep. How do you have conversations with people?
I seriously just took lore and then set the devil upon him.
Well, normally Lore would be like, let me share my life story, but he's learned recently some things, and so he's like, wait, how do you talk to people if you don't share everything about yourself immediately?
And, she goes, she kind of just nods, and she says, I think she looks back towards the lady behind the counter, and she goes, hey, Lola, can you do me a favor and get this kid some water? And then Lola just starts to move to grab another glass, and this reporter lady just goes, thank you, you're the love of my life.
Laura just out of habit just goes, thank you.
And you see this lady switch demeanors again, and she's just don't think she'd ask right away if Lord knows anything about where Izumi was, because, woof. Anyway, I think what she does instead is, you know, if you're if you're this young and you're being a tourist, you probably shouldn't have ended up in a place like this. How'd you get here?
Well, here's the thing, I don't know. And, it's really funny because he has a cartoonish sweat drop.
Oh, she finds that very interesting. And, she kind of looks at it, and she's just like, she has that look of like, what? Before she glances back to you and goes, oh, so you got lost, huh?
Yeah, there's another one. He just puts his head down on the counter. No arms or anything, just down.
You get a pat on the shoulder.
He just nods against the table like, yeah, fuck. He doesn't know where he is or what this place is.
And, she goes, were you trying to get to someplace specific?
A library. Yeto has a bunch of gods and I wanted to do some research on them.
Oh, yeah. Oof. I mean, you can probably get to a library that's pretty close by, but if you leave now, they might be closed. It's getting pretty late anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna write my boyfriend in a minute.
Oh, that's cute. You got a boyfriend.
He's red. He's like, oh shit, yeah, no, I said the thing. Like, yeah, no, I got a boyfriend. He's really cute.
Aww. And
his brother's from here.
And, you hear, Lola from behind the counter just go, oh, knock it off, Ouki. Give the kid a break. And she's just wasn't going to say anything. Jeez. And, she takes another, sip of her drink. Places the glass back down. And she goes, well, anyway. My name's Ouki. And I'm, guess you could say, one of the reporters who is part of the big news circus right now. Ugh.
Lord did roll a 7, so I think he'd like put out his hand to shake.
Yeah. And
just say, if I mentioned you to Izumi, would he freak out? And then he's like, oh shit, no, I just confirmed I did know him.
And she grabs your hand and she says, aha! You do know him!
Technically! My sweatshops. He fucked up!
And she just starts laughing and says, I'll give it... Relax, kid. I'm not gonna do anything. Besides, I don't really think Zumi's gonna be too, worried about what some reporter's gonna say.
I guess I'm more worried what Camille someone would say. He mumbles.
I did not understand a word you said.
Good. He realized he probably shouldn't say Camille's name. And internally he's like, maybe I shouldn't, otherwise Camille and Leo might freak out because reporters. So he's just like looking off to the side thinking this.
And she just kind of laughs and says, don't worry, I'm going to be honest. I'm trying to get off that stupid news. It's not really my cup of tea,
What is your cup of tea then?
And she puts her hands on the top of the counter, like doing that, like palms down, elbows up, and she kind of just leans forward and she says, I don't even know how she would word this. And she goes, my specialty is rooting out the corruption in politics.
Oh, I know quite a few people who'd probably like you a lot.
And she just gives you the biggest grin, and she says, right? I am pretty damn good at my job.
I guess that makes sense why I assume he would know you then.
I mean, she kind of just, like, sighs and, like, shrugs and says, there was a time when my boss tried to keep me on the more, teen gossip side of stuff, So stuff kind of like the celebrity bullshit, things that, like, Azumi would show up in. I mean, he was a nice kid and all, but again, it's not really what I'm into.
Laura kind of thinks to himself and he's like, celebrities are people who are really well known, right?
And she laughs again and she says, yeah, that's about right.
Okay, cool. What's teen gossip?
And she just kind of, like, leans forward again and says, believe me, you don't want to know.
Laura mentally, okay, don't ask about teen gossip.
And, she's just, look, I've done a lot of articles in my day, especially ones for kids. Especially with ones for date spots. It is kind of funny what teens will consider a good hangout place.
Laura looks down at his hoodie. It's from the aquarium.
Not the aquarium. The aquarium's fine.
Laura looking away, kind of embarrassed. Do you have a list of good date spots?
Oh, absolutely. And you see her just kind of, like, reach into that, like, really big bag she has, and she pulls out a very, very, like, worn-looking notepad. And, she flips through a couple of pages, and she shows it to you. Most of it is written in Yiddish.
I feel like he can figure out Yiddish for the most part, and so he copies it down.
Yeah.
And she'll notice that he's copying it down not in any common that you know. It's an infernal.
Oh, exciting.
He really likes writing an infernal. It looks cool.
And she says, oh, excuse me, sorry. She kind of goes back to that, way she'd been sitting with her, like, elbows on the counter and her chin in her hand, and she goes, the planetarium just opened up recently. You could probably take your boyfriend there.
He goes, oh, maybe Arata would also like it.
And
he has a boyfriend. He mumbles that.
She blinks, and she says, oh, kid, don't tell me you know Arata too.
Laura, oh shit, fuck.
No.
Says that out loud.
Like, if it's the Arata I'm thinking of, don't worry about it. He's a good kid.
Yeah, no, he's my boyfriend's brother.
There's a pause. And she looks dumbfounded for a second before she just goes back to her drink and says, huh, small world.
Yeah,
Very
like,
long sip.
Fucking figures. You got lost for plot, didn't you? He looks up to the sky and angry. He's cursing certain gods right now.
Can we get some F's in the chat for our boy?
Laura's done with the plot. Laura's done with a certain other god.
That's hilarious because there's no plot in a real kind country.
He doesn't know this. He has no trust anymore.
Anyway, I take the sip, and she kind of puts the glass back down. You also have your water by now. It's a nice cold glass. Probably the closest you're gonna get to a fun drink here.
Drinks it all in one go.
Dehydrated little guy.
Dehydrated and also distraction. Yes, drink this all at once.
And she just kind of leans forward. She says, you know, Arata did kind of just help me out of a pretty big jam once.
That sounds like him. What was it?
It was just some big issue with my boss. You know, a long time ago, my old partner got wrapped up in some trouble, and then my boss found out and tried to grill me for it. But Arata was there to, like, you know...
Your boss sounds like a dick.
You have no idea.
Why do you still work there if he's such a dick?
And, she, sighs and she says, 'cause it's not him, it's, Well, she kind of just leans against the table, not the table, the counter again, and she says, do you know the Spirit Rogues?
Does he?
I don't know, does he?
Sammy hasn't told him anything.
I don't think Arata would, because it doesn't seem like something that would come up in casual conversation often.
Trying to... What? I go to message Mira really quick.
I think Mira might be napping.
Oh, no. Mira, no. I need to know how loose-lipped Sammy is. I think Lore thinks, and he's like, I don't think so.
Okay. Now that's a big can of worms that I don't have the energy to get into right now. I wish you could see me, because I'm doing, like, all these hand gestures and everything. Which is
amazing.
Just so great on an audio-only format. Anyway. And, she just says, okay, all you need to know is that this guy was, just had a change of heart, and I'm slipping into an accent. He had a change of heart, and it was for the better, and he did get better, but, you know, sometimes there are just a chain of command in these sorts of things, you know?
Yeah, so he's okay now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Laura seemed concerned about her.
And she just kind of sighs and says, I don't know. It's... When you're in my line of work, kid, you just start to hear, like, all sorts of weird things. So a kid just showing up out of nowhere may not be the most normal thing, but with stuff that's been happening recently, you never be quite so sure.
Yeah, this is pretty par for the course for me. He goes to drink more water, but it's gone, and he just sets the glass down awkwardly.
There's probably, like, ice, so, like, all I can imagine is just Laura just awkwardly, like, sucking on ice.
Yeah, he just takes it and he's like, awkward crunch.
And she just goes, sheesh, I bet where you're from's pretty exciting.
Laura thinks of ordinal point. Not really, but where I live now, yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not normal for here. And she makes, like, a very vague arm gesture.
It isn't?
No. Look.
I thought with how much stuff happens to Arata and Azumi that more stuff would happen.
Arata is an outlier and should not be counted for anything. That kid has worked 4 part-time jobs, has not shown up to one of them for a month, and still had the job when he came back.
I guess he's pretty good at the job then.
And she just kind of shrugs and says, I don't know, I've never actually been to a florist.
He works at a florist shop?
He used to.
Huh. I should talk to him about flowers. If you don't know this about Lore, flowers are really significant in Ordinal Point.
That is very cute. I love that.
There's a reason all of his shirts have a flower on them.
We love flower symbolism in this house.
Yes. Yes, good.
But, you see her kind of just sigh and says, Arata's just a weird kid. But, like...
Really? Is he that weird?
And, she just kind of takes a moment, pauses, and then just nods. And she goes, he's a weird kid, and weird things just happen to follow him. And, you hear, Lola from behind the counter just goes, you know, that kid actually worked a job here for a little bit. Not that I let him keep it. He was a teen at the time.
Isn't he still a teen?
He's 20 now.
I laugh. Lori doesn't know. I don't think Arata told him.
You don't ask a person for their age! Anyway.
And Sammy forgets to say things.
And he's just, and you hear Lola-chan just go, well, that kid, worked here for a couple of nights, and, I told him that, like, it was getting too dangerous to stay in Shinatsu for this late, you know? It gets dangerous up here.
It gets dangerous here?
Okay, you really don't know where you are, huh?
I thought I said that. I don't know how much more I can say that I'm lost.
You get a pat on the shoulder.
There's just like watery eye emoji face.
Lola just hands you a napkin so you can dry your eyes.
He does so. He's like, I'm really lost.
I love how you're like 6'10", and you're just...
He's a kid.
You just exude little guy energy.
He's just a kid. He's just a very tall child.
Get some rest, tall child. Anyway, Ouki just kind of, leans again and says, the point is, stuff like this isn't normal.
Oh, for me just to kind of show up? Or...
Say it again?
Or just kind of like, oh, for me just to kind of show up?
No, just for kind of the stuff that's been happening around here lately. Like, okay, the biggest news is Azumi showing up out of nowhere. I mean, the kid's been missing for almost, 3 years? And then all of a sudden the police just release him from custody? Especially after everything the Prime Minister dickhead did? I don't know, it's too fishy.
What did the Prime Minister do? Also, what's a Prime Minister?
Oh, it's a politics thing.
Okay.
And she just kind of like waves a hand dismissively. I could give you every single thing that guy's done, but we'd be here all night. And I think as much as Lola-chan loves me, I don't think she wants to hear me rambling for that long.
Lore looked so tempted, but he knows he shouldn't because Sammy will get worried and so will everybody else.
Oh god, I love how this is going so far.
Lore likes knowing shit. This is great, but also...
Yeah. And, you see her lean forward, and she just goes, but, like, there have been stuff that's been happening before that, too. Like, and she pauses, and she thinks, and, after a moment, she goes, okay, so, sorry, I just keep getting DMs out of nowhere. I don't even know who this person is. Who are you?
Oh no.
I'll check it later. They can wait. She goes, okay, so, there's this restaurant that's, you know, a locally small-owned restaurant, and, it was, you know, struggling for a little while, wasn't certain if they could keep their doors open, you know? It was that kind of bad. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they just managed to strike a deal and get to open a second location on the other side of town? That doesn't just happen.
It sounds like it did, though.
It just happened. That's why it's weird.
You said this is kind of stuff has been happening for years, though?
Not for years, just recently.
Oh. Huh. More like, is the plot infectious?
And she goes, but there's, like, so many other, like, weird, too good to be true stuff happening. Like, oh, that politician that stepped down recently because, he was a legislator, at the Diet Building, and then he stepped down because he confessed to document tampering a little bit ago.
Laura looks upset about the document tampering.
Yeah, right?
What the fuck? Why would you mess with documents?
And, she leans forward and she says, because some people want to stay in power and will use whatever means necessary to do so.
Man, people suck.
They sure do, kid.
He grumbles.
But this guy stepped down out of nowhere. And I don't know.
Do you have theories?
And you see her, like, kind of, again, another, like, mood shift that is very, very stark. And, she goes, I don't know. A lot of these events seem kind of, disjointed. Not really a common thread, except for the fact that they all just seem too good to be true. I think someone, maybe somebody high up there on the chain of command, maybe they've got friends in high places, I don't know. But I think someone is trying to make people happy for a reason.
You don't think they're trying to distract from Azumi, do you?
And she blinks at that like she hadn't even considered that. And then she goes, huh. And she looks into her cup and she goes, see, that's an idea. Because the news breaking probably wouldn't have made Azumi too happy. But with all these other stuff going on,
Are they making bigger headlines?
Not really. It's just... I don't know. I don't know if it's about Izumi specifically. It just seems like just these small acts of kindness or whatever, just out of nowhere, in anonymous or whatever. But, you might be onto something with the distraction thing.
Maybe. Sometimes I lucky guess things, but I don't think that these are these don't seem like they'd be isolated events, all considering.
And you see her shake her head, and she's like, oh, absolutely not. These are all connected somehow. And she, like, sets her glass back down. By now, it's, like, empty. There's, like, probably a few cubes of ice left in there. But the way she sets it down, it's, like, it's not loud, but there is definitely a clink as she sets it down. Very decisive.
Clink.
And, she leans against the counter again, but this time her arms are crossed on top of it as she looks to you. And she says, do you think you can do me a favor, kid?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, you know Arata, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I give you my number, And if you happen to hear anything weird happening at all, like anything else that sounds like it's in the same vein of too good to be true, will you let me know?
Um, I'll talk to Arata about it first, but if he's okay with it, then yeah. Can I have... Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but can I have your name? Because if I have your name, I can write you letters wherever you are.
Yeah, sure. And you see her reach for her notepad again, and she flips to a blank page, and she writes down, like, spell out her name.
Thank you.
Yeah. She writes down Aneko Ouki, and she also writes down her place of business, her phone number, etc., etc.
hmm
And she says, and as she hands you, like, she tears out the paper and hands it to you, and as she hands it to you, she says, can you tell Narada to do the same thing? Because,
yeah.
alright, good. Because there is something fishy going on in this town, and I plan to get to the bottom of it. And, like, as she says that, she, like, emphasizes it by, like, taking her pointer finger and, like, pointing down and tapping it against the counter.
The irony of Lore wearing a fishy hoodie.
It is very funny, but it is kind of lost on her.
Uh-huh. I'm just laughing.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, Lore's just gonna be like, and by chance, do you have like a map or something to the library? Any library?
And, she kind of just, looks up at, Lola, and Lola just, before she even says anything, Lola just kind of, reaches under the counter and pulls out a sort of like, one of those maps that you would find in, like, the train station.
Mm.
And she, Uki takes it with, like, a great big thank you, like, you know, the usual one she gives to Lola, like, you've seen, like, maybe 3 times now. And she unfolds it, and she gestures to it, and she's probably like taking a pen or something, and she is marking down where you are and where the nearest library is, and is telling you the best way to get there.
How accessible is this map?
What do you mean accessible?
He's colorblind.
Oh, it is. It's definitely got enough contrast that you can actually see stuff.
Okay, good. He
Yeah.
like squints at it and he just nods like, whew.
Yeah. And, so she gives that to you, notes and all. And, Lola-chan's just like, you got somebody, coming here to pick you up, kid?
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. One moment. He takes out this little journal, and he writes down the information that you gave him and puts it in a category that says friends on it before flipping and putting the other note in the back. And then he takes out a piece of paper and he seems to be writing something down really quick. He folds it up and holds it out as it just disappears.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, he suddenly has another letter in his hand. He just like pulls it out of his pocket and he opens it up and he's like, okay, they know where I am. They should be here soon.
Okay. I have no idea what that just was, but so long as you got somebody coming for you.
Oh, don't worry, it's just cats.
That's a weird cat.
It is.
Just so long as you get out of here before too late, okay, kid?
Yeah, oh, maybe I should ask Arata to come get me. I don't know if Sammy would be alright. He kind of mumbles.
we can just say that Sammy and Arata went together because probably Arata would know this place better than Sammy.
Sammy would get lost. Yeah, they go and get Lorem. He's a lost boy.
Yeah.
Yay.
As I think that is a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, that was fun.
And thank you so much, audience in the future, for listening in. And thank you, Katie, for playing with me.
It was so... I love playing with you.
And with that, we will bid you all a good time zone. Bye.
Bye.